Hello, it's me, and after tackling the 3x3 version of this hex prism, I figured maybe it's time to take the plunge and actually do the master solve of it. So what I did first is I only scrambled it as a 3x3 version of that, like so and like so, just to see if I can generate some algorithms. Now that I've done that, let's see what happens if we do the actual, not master, the professor version of that, which is 5 layers. So when dealing with a puzzle like this, when you go from higher layers, from lower layers to higher layers, one strategy is to reduce it. So if I scramble it as a 5-layer puzzle, maybe I can reduce it to the 3-layer and solve it as such. The problem with dominoes is it's hard to do that. By dominoes I mean you can't do 90-degree turns here, you have to go 180-degree turns. So generally it's a layer by layer approach. So I assume that what I'm going to do is use the same strategies that I did as a 3-layer, but just go from the center and go outward and just do layer by layer, and not actually do any actual reduction with this, but just do increments of it. So why don't I just take the plunge? Now, to be honest with you, I haven't really looked too much at what the strategies of that are going to be, but let's see what happens if I try to apply what I looked at with this puzzle here. So there's no turning back now. No matter how much I may regret the scrambling of it, it's too late. There's no way to remember what I just did. But like I say, as long as I bear in mind the strategies that I used, there's one unique algorithm that I did. It wasn't so unique. Basically, it was like an algorithm inside an algorithm to cause the swapping of corners. I'll just keep going here. Now, as I'm scrambling this, I'm starting to think about some of the challenges that might happen specifically with this solve. And that may have to do with the fact that I've got some pieces that are equivalent to each other. Namely, some of these middle pieces, like the pieces that are of the same color here, and these pieces here, as well as these. And while I don't anticipate any parity issues with this puzzle, because I'm not changing from one parity to the next, I do anticipate some maybe issues with equivocation, where I put one piece in the wrong place because it looks just like another piece. Anyway, here we go. That's a pretty good scramble, I think. Alright. Now the other limitations of the scramble with this, because the way I see it, all puzzles have limitations, they all want to be solved. But notice that there's only a limited way to scramble this puzzle. This top and this bottom scramble with each other. So in many ways, this is one puzzle here. These two scramble with each other, and this basically scrambles with itself. So that's one of the restrictions, that's one of the limitations. What's also known is that the star that makes up these corners here generally scramble with each other as well. So the similar green and yellow piece that looks just like this can't go into this slot. So this can only go here, here, and here. So as I was scrambling it, a lot of these pieces are pretty limited in terms of where they can go. So if you break it down like that, it does become a little bit more straightforward regarding what your strategy may be. So, how am I going to approach this? What am I going to do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do, just like I did on the 3-layer version, is let's get the center in. So these centers here guide me as to what color is to go where. Maybe I can scramble this a little bit better here. Okay, so I'm going to go from the inside and move out. So where's the other blue? Purple rather. Here's the other purple. And some more reds. I've got a red over here. I gotta move this red one in. So this has to work its way to here. So I'll just move like so. Turn the tip down and move this in over here. So good, good. I need a blue. There's a blue over here. That's good. I need a pink, and boom. Okay, so I got these guys in over here. That wasn't too much of a problem at all. And now I want to move these out here. So this is already in. Gonna move it like so. Move this in. So not a problem. Move this in like thus, and bang. Okay, so the middle layer wasn't too much of a problem. Maybe the scramble got a little limited, but not too much of a problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve the top and the bottom. These only scramble with each other. So how shall I do this? Well, I'm going to put the centers in first. I'm going to pick a side that I'm going to focus on. I guess maybe down over here. So let's see. This purple one's already in. This green one's already in. Let's get an orange one in. Move it in from the bottom. Now I could use this or this. That might come to play later on. Who knows? Bring this here and move it up. Okay, pink, might as well use this one, down, turn, and up. So I'm just positioning as I would a supercube. And now the red one, right over here, turn, turn, and turn over here. Okay, so all these guys are in. All the rest, when I'm dealing with the first side, is all sliding U techniques, so to speak. So here's a green. I'll position this green here to slide into here. So turn it in from the right, slide it to the left. Turn it from the left, but at the end here, back to the right, slide it in, turn it back from the right, from the middle, slide it to the left, back from the left, and bang. So that gets this in without changing this. This green can easily slide into here, move it in from the left, slide it to the right. End, slide it at the end from the right, turn it from the right rather, back to the left, 2L, back to the right, 2R. So far it's not knocking our socks off. So far so good. What about this corner here? I'm looking for the green and orange. See if I can happen to find it down here. And I can't. How about green and blue? Purple rather. And that's right here. So move it in from the left, move it to the right, do a 2R, and again both of these are at the end. Swing it back to the left, swing it back to the right, and in. So we're good. We don't have this one yet, so we'll just move on. Okay, how about some oranges? Here's an orange here. Swing it in, turn, 2R, swing it to the left, 2L. This is also to demonstrate just how nicely this puzzle moves, which does make it more fun when I'm not struggling with the movement. Okay, nothing's down here yet. So how about the pink and orange? Do I have it here? And nope. Okay, we'll get some pinks in. Do we have any pinks to choose from? We've got this one. 2R, move it to the left, 2L at the end, back to the right, 2R, back to the left, 2L. Okay, so this part, so far no problems, no tricks, no worries, and no pinks down here, so we move on. Okay, pink and blue. Do we have a pink and blue? I'm running out of luck with corners. Here we go, pink and blue. Moving the corner in, 2R, move it to the left, 2L. My compliments to the designer and the assembler and the sticker putter on her. Very nicely stable puzzle. A little snaggy at times, but not too bad at all. Okay, put the blue in here. At the same time, that'll get the pink out. So, move it in from the left, through the middle, back to the right, turn it to the right, back to the left, turn, turn, and splat. Now that we move that pink out, it's down here somewhere, which is right here. Now, as I'm doing this also, I'm suspecting something that I might need to bear in mind that I haven't had to. If you've looked at any of my videos, every time I've done the sliding U technique, I've always just done it within the context of what happens here, but I don't look at what happens down here. I don't really care about that because that I deal with later. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that's going to come back to haunt me, so I'm just going to point something out. Take a look at this blue. This blue is going to end up here. And that's all we really cared about, but where does this end up? This actually, if you watch it, so I'm going to double turn this over here. Once I turn this over to here, understand this is going to cycle with this guy over here, because then I'm going to do a 2L. Now I'm going to move this back 2R, So here's that orange one. Move this back over here, 2L, and move this back. So why did I mention that? I mentioned that because what was here ended up here. So basically, this sliding U technique is actually a 3 cycle between from here to here, here to here, and here to here. It's going to be useful to know that later on, I think, because I've got a feeling I'm going to have to do some fancy footwork, possibly. More on that, I think, possibly later. Anyway, red and blue, which is this. Turn, turn. So we're just kind of whipping through this first part. Nothing too tricky here. So now at about this time, we're feeling pretty secure about our solve. We feel that we can get through this. But bear in mind, that's the easy layer. So we've got this in now. We have the dilemma of the next layer. The last layer of this solve within a solve. So the way that we're going to do this is we want to move it out. And I'm thinking maybe I'll just put 2 here. I'll put the corners here, and then I'll put the edges in the centers here afterwards. The corners we can put in just by that algorithm that we used, but that's going to be difficult in terms of positioning because remember it swapped these guys, so it'll end up swapping these here, but that's going to get a little cumbersome. So I was anticipating that as a possibility that it might be difficult to apply that algorithm with the 3x3, and maybe we should just go ahead and just start 3 cycling things. So what I'm going to do is exactly that. I'm going to keep this over here to bear in mind a 3 cycle. Okay, I have an idea. Here's what we can do. I'm going to move this over here. And actually, let's do this. I'm going to take this purple and move it here, which will then take this orange one and move it here, so it'll be by a color that it wants to be by, and this red will come up over here. So I'm going to place one here and then place another one to be placed down here somewhere else, here to here, so I can move this purple one in somewhere else. So here's what this is going to look like. 2R from here, swing it to the L, 2L, swing it back to the R, 2R, swing back to the L, 2L, swing back here. So I don't have the strategy completely planned out, but basically what it is, I put this one in. Now I'm just going to find where I want to put this one in, and I want to put it right here. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to do the same thing, which will place this here. This will always be the wild card. So this pink will come here, this will come here, and this orange will come uselessly over here, but at least I placed this guy. So 2R, move it here. Wherever I move it, whatever face I move it is where I'm going to move this one to. That's probably going to become important to me later on also. So what's fun about these puzzles is the adaptability. Turn. Okay, so that puts this one in. So let's find where the pink wants to go. This wants to go over here. So we'll lift this green to here, this pink will go here, this blue will go here, and actually I'll place 2. So we're doing all right. So 2R, turn, turn, turn. So this is working pretty well, not bad for a canned strategy here, and this turns back over here. So this is in and this is in. So now we got green. So I'm nicely positioned to put this here, and this red will come over to here. Now here's the problem. I don't want to move this one out, so I don't want this one to necessarily participate with that. But I do want this to participate with this here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move this somewhere else where something else will participate. This is already in. And I think I put all of these in already. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this orange, move it back here. This green one wants to find a home where? This green one wants to find a home here. So as long as I swing this to here, it'll work. So actually, let's see if it will. If this works well, this will come here, this will come here, and this will come back here. So we'll do a 2L, 2R rather. And I'm going to swing it to here because I want it to end up, the green to end up here. Swing it down to here. Move it back. Do my 2L here. Move this back here. Swing this around and bang. This is the advantage of having so many sides. They don't really run into each other too much. This is now back, this is in, and this is good. Alright, so basically I'm just strategizing to see how things are going to turn. So now I just have to move a couple here. So what I'm going to do is exactly the same thing. Let's start off with the same concept. I guess if I take the green here and let's see what I want to do. I'd like to move a green to here, and that's going to come from this one. So this yellow will come here, this green will come here, and then this green will come here. Which is interesting. Did I want to do that? Sure, I guess. This to here, this to here, this to here. Let's see if it works. So double turn, move it into here, turn this end, move it back, double turn, move it back here. So this is a variation of the sliding U technique. It might be a little harder to follow, but I'm really just bouncing things around. And okay, I have to do it twice now. So now this will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. If this is even working, I may be completely off base about this. Turn, 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 and turn. And sure enough, that's in, so we are good. We are good. So now I want this guy to end up here. Will it? If I move this here, yeah, this will end up over here. But I have to find something that'll move into this position without taking anything out. So let's keep tooling around. Okay, I don't want to use this. Well, let's say I do. I want to take this purple and I want to move it to here. So this will come to here, this will come to here, this will come to here. So I'll have to do it twice to move this purple in. So this is my first time. Move this twice here and here. Now once more should move this purple to here, and this orange will come to here, and I'll have a red one here to use. Okay, so this is generation of algorithms on the fly. So this will come to here, it's 2R. Now I'm going to take this, move it into here, so put in this slot, 2L rather, and then do another 2L. Move it back here, undoing everything that I just did, 2L from the middle, back here, 2L from here, and back. Predictably the red one is here, purple one is here, and orange one is here. Alright, not too shabby. I need to get the green one in. This green will come to here. It's got an exchange with this red, so we don't really like that, but that's okay. I'll just exchange it with what? With this green over here. Yeah, so basically I'm going to take this green, move it into here. This red will come into this slot, and this pink will come into this slot, and then we'll just kind of recalibrate. So I turn it over here. I'm going to turn this all the way around to this pink. Then all the way back to here. Double turn, 1, 2, 3, and all the way back here. Okay, so we're going to do some more sliding U's here. This pink to come to here, this green I want to go to here. So 2L, then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Move it over here, 1, 2, 3. Move it back over here, 1, 2, 3. Move this back over here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I have one more. I've got this blue here, and you can see I'm getting all these guys in. I just have this here. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to take this red, slide it into here. This blue will find a home where? Right over here. So it's kind of like an exchange for a blue for a blue. However, I've got this red that can participate in the exchange. So if I do it twice, this will go here and then here, this will go here and then here, and this will go here and then here. So, no worries. So I'm going to do a 2r to move it in. I'm going to move this to the side that I want to exchange it with. Do 2r over here. Move it back. Turn. Move it back here. Turn. And back here. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing, red to red, red to red, blue to blue. Double turn, move it in to here, double turn. Move it back, double turn, move it in, double turn, and back. Okay, so at the end of the day, these are filled, these are filled, these are filled, and these are filled. So all these are filled, the only problem is that they're not coordinated correctly. That's actually alright. What I'm now going to do is get these corners in over here. I can see this is in, they're almost all in. By in, here's what I mean. So you can see these colors are fine. Good, 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 not so good. So this I can do with that same familiar algorithm. Now I have a choice. I can do that algorithm, or I can do my sliding U technique instead. But basically, these two have to be flipped. And we had a way of doing that kind of a flip by basically taking this and moving this out to here so then it can flip. And I think that's how I'm going to want to do this because I don't have equivalencies to help me out with that. So as I recall, what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to move this to here so that they can swap, and then I can just move it back. So I'm going to move this down so it's over here. Then we go 1, 2, 3, and then move it here. So basically these two have to flip, and I know the algorithm to do that. I just have to remember to move it back from this direction. Okay, so holding it here, 2r, u, 2r, ui, 2r. Basically then I go to a u and a di. So I only did half the algorithm, now I do the full algorithm. 2r, u, 2r, ui, 2r, ui, d, 2r, ui, 2r, u, 2r. Now I move it back, 1, 2, and this goes up, and then I finish the first part, the second part of the algorithm. 2r, ui, 2r, u, 2r. This goes back, and this goes back. Now I have to remember how to walk myself back from where I was. This turns here, and then we go 1, 2, 3, and this turns here. Okay, so that did move these back into place. So that's the only time I had to borrow that same algorithm. To move the from the 3x3 version, these guys move in. This ends up here, this ends up here, and this doesn't end up here, but it's certainly a start. So I'm going to be do that corner, rather that edge swapping algorithm until this makes it to here, and this will make it all the way to here. So it's going to be 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u. And once more, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u. So what? This is in and this is in, so we keep doing stuff like that. What kind of stuff are we talking about? Pink, where's the pink? It's right over here. So this pink can end up here, this green can end up here, and this orange over here. So we do this twice as we go this way. 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, and again 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u, 2r, 2u. Okay, doing well. Okay, so here's something interesting. I have 2 here that have to be placed. I should have 3. So this appears to be what might appear to be a parity. You can't do an even number of swaps. So how did this happen? Well, this happened because of equivalency. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go ahead and do 3 cycles with these to get them in. So let's see what we can do. Well, this will not make it to here. I can take this and I can move it to here. But imagine if I can move this to here, I'll have yellow, or rather orange, going to orange. Red has to go to another red, can go to one of these. So what that means, basically, is I can take this red, position it to here so that I can swap this up to here. And now I want to take this red and move this to here. So it's a little complicated, but the only thing I'm going to be moving is I'm going to be moving the centers when I'm doing the algorithm. So I'm going to take this, and this needs to make it to here. So I'm going to move this down, move this across, and move this up. I just have to remember to move that back. So this orange will go here, which is great. This red is going to go here, which is not so great. So what I really want to do is take another set of reds, which is over here. And I'm going to take this, move this along here, turn it up. So now I got to remember to turn it back and turn it in. So very quickly, we're going to go, this will go to here, this will go to here, this will go to here. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay? So all these are now in. I got to remember to move this back down as I promised and move this in. So we're good. And now same thing with this. This turns like so. I move this in and then I move this back. Okay, so now all these are in. So remember, this is more of a demonstration than a tutorial, but basically I use the equivalencies of the different layers. I could swap everything from here down to here. So when I appear to have a parity between these two, all I did was I 3-cycled using one of these from down here. I ended up using both, but that's how I was able to do that. Okay, so now I have recreated my center. Now I have to move stuff in from up here. So how am I going to do that?